All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praise, all the honor, and the glory to Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahawashi, Ba'Hashem, Harakah Kodash, and of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, preaching this word in all truth and sincerity. All right, so this is Proverbs 20 and verse 21. An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. All right, and what we're about to inherit, our inheritance, okay, is to have absolute power over the heathen. Okay, total control on the planet. That was our birthright. Okay, and getting it hastily, all right, at this, in the beginning, or, if we would have just had it from the beginning, it wouldn't have been as it reads, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. All right, we were supposed to, go through evil. Okay, we were supposed to be proved. All right, you don't just, give an inheritance, to a child, man. That parable that you read about in the New Testament, how, there was the parable of the prodigal son. Okay, how, he asked for his inheritance right then and there, and his father was like, well, it is your inheritance, so here, do with it as you wish. And he went out and he was splurging, spent it all up. See, if Jake was given, rulership and, authority in the beginning, all right, as a nation, here it is. Jake would, like the elder, Yahshua goes into, Jake would use spiritual power for folly, man. Okay, Jake would be using spiritual power to turn, Kool-Aid into Hennessy, man. Okay, or commit adultery, doing all kinds of crazy stuff with that power, man, with the authority, man. Here it is. We had to understand, as the scriptures say, there had to be a falling away first. Jake had to be proved. Okay, that's why we're going through what we're going through right now. We have the understanding, but we're still not perfected. Okay, we're still in these bodies. All right, therefore, we can receive the inheritance, the full, the fullness of the inheritance as of right now, because we're not mature enough in the spirit, and we can't be dealing with these fucking bodies that we're in, man. Okay, we have to receive, those new bodies. All right, that's the fullness of the new covenant, man. Okay, you got these assholes talking about, we're in the new covenant, or they're the prophets of the new covenant. But the new covenant, talks about you being immortal, man. Okay, we're not immortal. We're still subject to going off. We're still subject to, being sick. All right, even on a super carnal level, we're subject to fucking payments, man. Okay, so this is verse 22, and it reads, "Oy wee, Sluck, I have some dumbass Edomites behind me." It says in verse 22, "Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on Yahawah Ba'Hashem Yahawashi, and he shall save thee. which is another thing. We got to be humble. We got to suffer, humiliation. Okay. We can't be getting carnal or, acting out, fighting fire with fire. Okay. The way we fight fire is through prayer, fasting. All right. And yes, prayer does mean we're going to put curses on wicked ass Israelites, man. All right. The men of the Lord put curses on wicked ass Israelites, man. Okay. Didn't Paul say Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil to deliver him unto Satan? Okay. Did not was it Elijah put curses on those children that were mocking him? He said he cursed them in the name of the Lord. Okay, so we can't recompense evil with evil, man. All right, you got to remember that Yahawashi is going to avenge us. Okay, but wait on Yahawashi, and he shall save thee. The Lord is going to save us from the most proud, man. The Lord is going to save us from the wicked, which is his sword, who is Esau, the so-called white man. Okay, here it is. This guy is going to mandate the charagma, the micro CHIP. Okay, have these troops out here in the midst of martial law, Jacob's trouble, and looking to eradicate us as a nation. All right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's going to say, look, if you want a fighting chance, you're going to have to be rehabilitated and receive my mark. Okay, but you saying that you believe in Yahawashi, all right, you got to deny that at all costs, man. Okay, for the sake of your life, for the sake of your children's life, all right, the woman that you love. Okay, and you know what's the understanding Yahawashi, that he is good and evil. Okay, Yahawashi could test you by testing you in that way, man. Your children or your wife. Esau have their head in a guillotine, or Esau, threatening to chip them, or Esau going and chipping them, man. Okay, now these are things that we pray for to Yahawashi. Okay, see, a lot of guys are going to bug out, and they're going to go and they're going to kill their own kids, man. They're going to go kill their own kids because they can't, support their kids in that day. They can't give their kids food, take care of them, give them medicine. Okay, they're going to lose faith and figure they can't defend their children from Esau, Edom. So they're going to say, hey, I'd rather kill my own kids than to let them get microchipped, man. Which is wild, but that's why the scriptures say, say not thou, I will recompense evil. But wait on Yahawashi, and he shall save thee, man. All right, your faith is going to be tested, man. Okay, in the time to come, because you see, you could just feel it. All right, with this economic decline. Okay, different viruses and diseases they're talking about, biological warfare. All right, World War III on the horizon. World War III, they're going to start drafting people, man. Okay, they already passed bills where they could draft women. And then when you look at World War I, World War II, they were drafting, young men. All right. So now they can draft young women. Okay, it's gonna be a war. All right, that's a type of warfare that's never really been witnessed, man. They're gonna be using robots and laser weapons and nuclear missiles. Nuclear missiles were never used for warfare, man. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, those were atomic bombs, man. Okay. And it talks about how they're going to send, all right, the Lord's going to remove far from off of us the Northern Army, okay, which is dealing with NATO and America, their troops, and sending them into a land that's barren and desolate, which is the Middle East. You see? So they're going to be able to draft you women, draft, young men, young women. Okay? So it's getting terrible, man. It's going to get to a point where everybody's going to be tested, even us that say we believe. Okay, a trial of our faith. Okay, but you got to remember that, we got to wait on Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, and in doing so, He's going to save us. Okay, don't go to the left or the right. Stay on that narrow path, man. All right. So this is just a quick one. All you brothers out there, man, that stay in the faith. All right, there is nowhere else we can go. Okay, you go to the left, or you can fall off and burn. Okay, you go to the right, you could fall off and drown, man. Okay. If you don't stick on that straight and narrow, all right, you're going to die, man. Okay, and there's nothing to fear but fear itself, which is Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, the King of Terrors, man. So with that, keep pushing. We're almost out of here. All right, much love. All right, to all you sincere Akim wa Akwathium. With that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi, B'Hashem Harakakodash. And of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and our elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Till next time, Shalom.